Hi there, it's Catherine. um, Welcome to this morning's reflections. And I thought I would go on a bit of a journey and invite you to come with me. I have been realizing lately how incredibly important, not that I didn't know this, but not only important, but probably at the core of everything um, is mobility. And many of us who have lipedema and lymphedema have some blips to our mobility. Some blips. Um, Several years ago, I had lost a lot of my mobility. And the thing about it is, it's not a quick process. It's not like one day you wake up and you can't walk. It's a very gradual process that goes over. Really, for me, it took a couple of years. And little by little, I could feel myself being less agile, less able to walk until towards the end of my journey with this. And I'll tell you, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background. So I ended up having a hip replacement. So I came back from Germany. I was very sick after having had surgeries in Germany for lipedema, multi complications, very sick. And then having had an exacerbation of osteoarthritis and ended up with bone on bone on my right hip. Um, I could get around for a while with the cane, and then the cane wasn't enough, and then I needed a walker. And then a friend of mine, God bless her heart, she thought she was helping. She got me a walker on wheels. So I had a regular walker, and then she got me the kind where you can, like a, you can ride a little bit and then sit, and, which is really funny. I did give it away. It was just too much for me. But anyway, it's a long story, and I'm going to do a webinar on it at some point. But what I want to say is we have a CSIG starting tomorrow. A CSIG is a coaching special interest group. And as I've been prepping for it and looking at my own story, since um, so much of my own learning is what I do in our group. I mean, I learn from the facilitators, I learn from the coaches, I learn from you, I learn from my own experience. So, anyway, I'm talking more than I want to be talking. I want to say that I am again mobile. So, I want to take you on a walk with me. I do this every day now. So, as I was saying, what happens in the CSIG is really looking at what kind of actions can you take. Now, let me say it's very hot here in Boston right now. So I usually do this at 7:15 in the morning. And I want to say I'm now going down my steps. See, steps, 10 of them. When I started, I could only go down one at a time like this. Now I can go one after the other. And I can say I'm incredibly happy when I was able to do that. That's fun. But what's even more fun months ago. Actually, let me back up. Reason I find it challenging is because I also got short of breath. So If I sound short of breath, it's because I am. But so much better than it was when I started a few months ago. So this is around my block. And I have spots I sit in. This is one of them, just so I can catch my breath. So I started in January. When I started in January, it's cold. Bless Dr. Carmody. He came. We went for a walk. We went for a couple times. And I started, and I was doing pretty good. And then I got COVID. So my walking, my PT, all of the progress I made disappeared. And it was so devastating. I remember going back to physical therapy and saying, so I went back in May. I said, I just want to give up. I just don't want to do this anymore. It's just too much. I had a few choice words that I won't say, but imagine after working really hard to regain some mobility, to feel like, so I'd been doing Miranda for quite a while. That helped some. But when I'm talking about mobility, I'm talking being able to walk outside in the world. Like I'd gotten to the point I could walk from the living room to the bedroom to the kitchen to the bathroom, could walk around the house. This was different. This was like feeling like I could walk in the world again. So this is one of my stopping places every morning. So I'm going to go to the next one. So right around the time when I went to back to physical therapy. So one thing I knew. So one of the things that we talk about a lot, know your own body. What is it that you can know that can help you? The one thing I knew is that I needed to walk. Physical therapy, Miranda, everything was fine. But for me, because I had had a hip replacement, the only thing that was going to give me strength and stamina again was walking. I had to do it. And walking around my 2-bedroom house wasn't gonna cut it. So I'm almost at my second resting place. But I still need to catch my breath because I usually don't talk and walk at the same time. So you hear us talk a lot about community. Okay, my second resting place. So you hear us talk a lot about community. So I went back to physical therapy. I started an elimination diet. I went on carnivore May 1st. And just about that time, my dear friends, Kathy and Anjay, they are our meditation teachers and they run our meditation group on Thursday nights, twice a month, have come in and done fireside chats and all kinds of support. What's so interesting to me about Anjay and about, one would think meditation. When you think of meditation, you think of sitting quietly, or not so quietly because your mind is all over the place, but of sitting and Anjay's form of meditation goes the gamut. So he said to me, how about if I walk with you? And I'm like, cool. Well, he lives in South Korea in Asia, and it's depending on the time of the year, 13 or 14-hour difference. And somehow it worked out. So we started to Zoom at either 7:15 or 7:30 in the morning, depending on schedules. And this journey I'm taking you on today is the journey that I have been doing with Anjay for months. And the power of connection. Because when I started, as I said, I could barely get around the block. I would have to rest for quite a long time. Now I've got it down to 3 stops along the way just to catch my breath. Also, I was recovering from COVID, so my breath was really, my breathing was infected. And that was another thing that motivated me, so I would get off my duff. I hate exercise. Let this be known. There isn't anything that I find harder than consistent dedication to movement. And as we all know, that is something that's so important for us. And so I would do this, and IJ would say to me, "It's really good. It's like having a coach." I felt like for a split instant, this must be what Olympic athletes go through. Because he would say to me, "You're doing great." And I would like be barely able to breathe. And he would say, "Make sure you rest. Sit down, rest. Make sure you catch your breath." And he would say to me, "You're doing it." And after, I can't remember how long, it must have been a couple of weeks, I started to feel a little more, oh, I can do this. So I started to say, well, maybe we could go further and longer. He said, he said, 1 block, just 1 block, until you can get around the block without resting. And I was like, oh my God. Now I do a long walk once a week. Needing to, I try and do, for me, it's long. So every day I do around 1,000 steps. But then I try and do over 3,000 once a week on Sundays. So we're coming up on my 3rd and final rest stop. I have this little bush that gives me some shade. Oh. Also, I don't usually go out when it's this hot. It's 11:30 a.m. here, and it's in the early morning, much cooler and breezy. So, what have I been learning? For me, that's always the bottom line question. Number 1, make sure I remember my hat, because even early in the morning, the sun is out, and I need to, protect from getting sunburnt, even in a short time. 1. Number 2, the power of 1 small step at a time. If anyone told me months ago when I started this that I would say, depending on the day and the time of the day, anywhere between 70 and 85% of my mobility back, I'm amazed. And all it did was 1 simple step at a time. Which brings me back to saying, here, let me put the CSIG info up there for you. If you're struggling, here it is. We have a CSIG. CSIG stands for Coaching Special Interest Group. And this one coming up is all about comprehensive care, decongestive therapies. It includes massage, MLD, compression, movement, pumps, skincare, all the things. I don't know about you, but I mean, I've been dealing with this for 10 years, and there were times when I did absolutely everything every day. And then there are days when I'm like, I don't want to do anything but sit. So getting moving, starting, just starting was a major feat. Okay, I need to brace myself to stand. Standing from sitting isn't always easy, but let's see. That was smooth. Getting better at it. So, I just had a moment of feeling so happy that I could get up from sitting on a stoop. So, this is all stuff that's been changing over the past several months. I can only say I'm so pleased. And on the days when I don't want to do it, Saturday, yesterday. Okay, so this is Sunday. So yesterday, I was like, I want to stay in bed. I turned over and I said, no, I don't want to do this. And then I said, okay, let's do this. I had to play bargain with myself. All you need to do is get dressed, put your sneakers on, and sit at the bottom of the steps. If you decide you don't want to go, you don't have to go. But of course, by the time I got out of bed, got dressed, was down at the bottom of my stairs, I'm like, oh heck, I'm not going to skip. So of course I did it. Okay, I'm almost at the bottom of my steps again. So this is one round. I started here and I end here. Ah, and I'm so grateful. So grateful. And so I asked myself this question. What small thing can I do today that can make living with a chronic disease better? So here's my steps. So when I first started, I didn't even attempt to walk up the steps one after the other. And then one day I had enough feeling of success, having gone around the block. I said, let me try it. And I could barely do it. I still have to hold on, but I'm now going one step at a time. Good back and air conditioning. And time to catch my breath. And so, oh, it feels so good. I've never done that this time of the day. I survived. Not only survived, but let me see how many steps I did. Gotta see. Almost. So, my blog for today, my vlog. What can you do right now that can make a difference in your life? And what's one tiny step? Mine was literally one tiny step at a time. I know you guys have left comments. So someone says, thanks for such an honest post. It shows us what we can do if we try. So someone says, do you walk with sticks? And I have them. I haven't walked with them much because my goal was to get mobile on my own without any aids at all. That's not needs to be for everybody. But thanks, and I'm gonna try using the sticks because I'm gonna try on going. I'm gonna start upping my distance. So I'm home. I've done a fair amount this morning. On Sunday mornings, I meet a dear friend of mine, and we walk. The past couple of weeks, we've been around the Boston Public Garden, which is gorgeous. It's a perfect time of year. So we walk, sit, talk, walk, sit, talk. It's perfect. And so this added on. So it's been a good day. I can always say that to myself. Sweating, feeling somewhat out of breath, but catching my breath and just learning how to walk again. Simple as that. And getting the strength and stamina. When I was recovering on my journey with lipedema, I did numerous 5Ks. I had never done that in my life. And I started to do 5Ks because of my determination to heal lipedema and lymphedema. So who knows? Maybe by next year I'll be able to do another 5K. So many, many, many blessings to you. Have a wonderful week. Thank you for coming on my journey. Yeah, bye.